everybody, and welcome to another episode of Thank You for Coming. I am your host, Mike Carr, and tonight we are very excited. We have two amazing guests. We have Sean Kelley and Whitney Hawkins who are going to meet and play for the very first time right here on the show. Both are phenomenal improvisers. They're living right now in the very, very cold worlds of Boston and Chicago, whereas I'm in the very tropical world of Florida right now. Just down the street from me right now, and by just down the street, I mean about an hour, maybe an hour and a half away, there's two football teams playing for the right to be called the Super Bowl champions. But this is the matchup you want to watch. You want to watch. It's the Bears, it's the Patriots. It's 86 all over again. For those of you who are old enough to remember 1986 and the Super Bowl Shuffle, that's what we're about to see, in a good way. Hello there, King Senior. Glad to have you back. Raj Andelman. Hi. I say Raj Andelman. I know it's Rachel Jane Andelman, but I like to say Raj Andelman because that's what your handle is. So that's how I like to say it. We're going to bring out Sean and Whitney in just a second. But yeah, it is Super Bowl Sunday. It's a very exciting day. And yeah, Randman, you know what? You're right. This is way better than the Super Bowl. You're absolutely right. Because we've all seen Tom Brady play the Super Bowl. Like, if you've been alive in the past decade or more, you've seen Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Frankly, it's boring. We've all been there, done that. You know what? Hello, Julie. We're glad you're here as well. Speaking of things that we're glad for, I want to show you my shirt. It says "Piss Off Ghost" on it. Where if you're a fan of Thor Ragnarok, you know that was spoken by Taika Waititi's character. Piss Off Ghost, the guys on the island. And I love this shirt because it's simple and it's fun. And it comes from a place called Jordan Dene. Jordan Dene is a wonderful designer who makes very sort of geek chic, fun things like this. And you can get shirts and all sorts of apparel from Jordan Dene from their website, jordandene.com. And little fun fact, if you use the code BookstoreGal, you will get 15% off $20 or more. So definitely check that out. They have lots of great stuff at the website, jordandene.com. Are they a sponsor of the show? Not right now. Will they be? Maybe in the future. So let's try to make that happen. So definitely check that out. And while you're, if you're on Instagram, check out Bookstore Gal. That is a site to check out on Instagram as well. But yeah, you can get 15% off. They have tons of shirts. They have all sorts of great stuff on that site. So check it out. I'm going to stop talking because I have two amazing guests waiting in the wings to come on stage. First, right now, she's sitting cozy in her home, but there's snow falling all around her. Please welcome Whitney Hawkins. Hi, Whitney.
Hi, Mike.
It's so good to see you. Welcome to the show.
Good to see you too.
I see there is a window by you. What does it look like when you look out your window? Is it Winter Wonderland? What does it look like?
It is very like white, fluffy snow. Last week when we got snow, it was very sludgy. This is very like white, fluffy, cute snow.
Yeah, so it's nice to look out the window at it now, but then tomorrow it'll be a different story.
Yeah, I'm from Philadelphia, where snow just turns into like a sludgy ice sheet. So nice.
Well, I think there's someone who can relate. Your scene partner tonight, who is currently living in the land of Chicago, Illinois. Well, more appropriately, I think it's Oak Park, Illinois, if I'm right. Please welcome Sean Kelley.
Yep, that's right. Oak Park, Illinois. It is technically not Chicago, but I could basically fall out of my backyard into Chicago. For people from the greater Boston area, it would be like being in Brookline or Cambridge, basically. It's that kind of town, and that kind of proximity. So I'm from New England originally, so I'm very familiar with the lay of the land there.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
So, Sean, how are you? What's your weather like right now in Oak Park? Not Chicago?
It is bitterly cold, Mike. It is. It was -6 degrees when I woke up this morning with a -24 wind chill. There is about 1.5 feet of snow on the ground, though there's not any snow falling right now. And most of that snow has frozen solid and is rock-like in its current consistency.
Always fun. So, Sean and Whitney, introduce yourselves to each other. You now meet.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Hi, pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Yes.
All right. So, just get a little background on your improv. So, tell us, Whitney, how long have you been doing improv? What got you started in improv? And give us a little bit of the bibliography.
Sure. So I started improv in 2015 at Improv Boston in Cambridge, and started taking classes there. because I had just moved from Philly and I was lonely and spending too much time with my cat. So I started taking classes and just never looked back. And I did, I was on a Herald team, but we didn't do Herald. We did experimental long form. I was on a show called Family Show, and later started directing that. All Access was great fun. Yes, Cat the Wild, rawr, clap roar. Thank you for that. I miss doing it very much. And then I also kind of created and directed some independent projects too.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of being directed by you in Gorefest, not in last year when we did it. So
yes,
you were a wonderful director, so much fun to work with. You were also you're being called out in the chat, Mrs. Pomegranate from. For Sean, you probably don't know Mrs. Pomegranate, but it's a character from a show called Golden Age Radio, sort of an improvised radio play, and Whitney plays Mrs. Pomegranate, who is a beloved
Mrs.
character.
Pomegranate.
Yes, delightful. Sean, same to you. Tell us a little bit about your improv history.
I realized I started doing improv in 2000, which was my freshman year of college at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. I didn't know anybody on a campus of 20,000 students, and so to kill time one afternoon, I auditioned for the short form improv group Mission Improbable, which I got into. I started doing improv there. I moved to Chicago after, or actually even during college. I hadn't technically graduated yet to do improv in Chicago. I took classes at IO, formerly the Improv Olympic, and also Second City. I'm sorry, no, I didn't take classes at Second City. I took classes at the Annoyance. I don't know why I said Second City.
They're the same thing. They're the same thing.
The same thing. It all blurs together. I mostly performed at IO. I was on a bunch of different Herald teams. I was in a show called Our Feature Presentation. I used to do guest spots on a lot of other shows too. The biggest thing I probably ended up doing was I had a podcast for about 10 years, or I was part of a podcast for about 10 years called Improvised Star Trek, which was we ended it last year, pretty much like 3 or 4 months before the pandemic. Actually, the last live show I did before any of this was at C2E2. We had a live podcast recording show in February before all of this happened. So that's kind of the bird's eye view of my improv career.
I'm excited that you mentioned improv. I was going to bring up Improvised Star Trek because it's wonderful, but also I'm drinking out of a Quarks bar glass right now.
Nice.
Which just makes me happy.
Nice.
I'm so excited for the two of you to play together. So before we get into the improv, and out there in the chat, we're going to need some suggestions from you. We're going to need locations of where they're going to play. So put in a location where 2 people can be, and we'll use those throughout the show. We'll use 2 of them, but it'll be used throughout the show. But right now, so we're going to just do some simple little icebreaker questions. It's like we're just meeting. Let's get to know each other a little bit. So the first question, and this is going to be for both of you. This question is, would you rather be able to run at 100 miles per hour or fly at 10 miles per hour? And I'd like to know why you choose which one you choose. So that question I posed to both of you. Either one of you can answer when you feel ready. For me, I'm going to choose flight at 10 miles per hour. I already know that I'm choosing that because I've always wanted to fly. And if I'm flying, even though it's only 10 miles per hour, it's going to feel faster. That's just how I feel about it.
Yeah. So I'm someone who is always late. That's just, it's part of who I am, and I'm learning to accept it about myself. So I'm tempted by running at 100 miles per hour, but I also know that if I knew that about myself, I would still start running too late. It would wear off real quick. So I'm gonna go with flight because it's flight.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Nice. I'm also going to go with fly at 10 miles per hour. I don't feel I get stressed out like when I'm driving and I'm going a little bit over the speed limit because I feel like I'm going too fast. So I don't really feel a great need for speed. I also have like a very specific fear of heights where I'm not really afraid of being up high, but I'm afraid of falling off of things. So like, I don't like being on ladders. I don't like being on roofs, but I have like no problem being on an airplane or any of that. So if I could just like fly to catch myself, I would no longer have to feel that like that anxiety and stress in my life. Plus flying is just cool. So I'm gonna go with fly at 10 miles per hour.
Excellent. All right. This next question, again, I'm going to give it to both of you. If you could choose any two famous people to have dinner with, who would they be? And when I say famous people, I don't mean living. They can be living or dead. Doesn't matter. But two famous people to sit around your table
At the
and have
same
dinner with.
time.
Yeah, it's the three of you sitting down for dinner.
Ooh, okay.
Flying is cool. Absolutely. Rachel, you're right. Flying is cool. We're all on the same page. So the three of you having dinner, and it's just the three of you. You don't get to bring another guest. Like, you don't get to have anyone with you. Just the three of you.
I'm gonna go with the Obamas. just Barack and Michelle Obama. I just want to be in their light.
Sure.
Like they don't even have to like recognize that I'm there. Like it's I just want to be like around them.
But you know they would recognize it. They would be like,
They would
open arms and be the best people to talk to.
They would just be great about it. What a dream. Yeah, that's my dream, is to just kind of be near them. I really hope the Secret Service doesn't find me. I'm not being creepy about it. I promise.
I feel like it's okay to say I want to have dinner with them. Like,
okay,
that's
yeah. I want to have dinner with them.
Yeah. I think you and Michelle would be very close, as Radish points out. All right, Sean.
Yeah, so I think I'd probably give you a different answer to this question, like at any particular minute that you asked it. But I think a really interesting combination would be Christopher Lee and Julia Child, because they were both people who became hear me out. They were both people who became celebrities for different things after World War II. But during World War II, they were both involved in espionage. And I would love to talk to them about their specific career journeys that brought them from being like World War II spies to being like a PBS cook, and being like somebody who was in all these like crazy horror movies, and like later recorded like heavy metal Elvish albums and stuff like that. And I think that would just be a really interesting conversation.
I'm trying to imagine Julia Child as a spy, because she had such a distinct way of speaking. I feel like people would be very drawn to that, which is not what you want from a spy.
She was like 6 feet tall too, right? She was like this very like big presence.
Very obvious person, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why she was such a good spy, because it's obvious.
Too obvious.
Yeah, it's too obviously not the 6 foot tall woman who's oh hello.
Well, or think about the era. Like think about how like people of that time probably perceived this like very charismatic, like very large woman. They're probably like, well, I can't take her seriously, and meanwhile she's like getting ready to spy the crap out of you or whatever,
writing stuff down.
Yeah.
I hope that phrase is in all spy manuals. Like, you're going to be spying the crap out of your target.
Spy the crap out of this.
All right, Sean, what is your question? I asked Whitney and Sean to prepare an icebreaker question for each other. Sean, what is your question for Whitney?
Yeah, Whitney, what was your favorite movie when you were 7 years old?
Oh
my God, I prepared like the exact same question for you.
Perfect.
Because I have it written down on this Post-it note.
Yes.
That's bananas.
Synergy.
Yes. 7 years old was probably, I want to say Indiana Jones was probably around then. I was the youngest child, so whatever my brother was watching was usually what I was watching.
Okay.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade was probably my biggest movie back then. Yeah.
Perfect.
So I'm still gonna ask my question. Slightly different, same theme. When you were a kid, did you have a movie that you just like wore out the VHS tape?
Yes. So when I was a kid, we owned a copy of An American Tail, and we watched it so many times that my parents lent it to another family and then never asked for it back, so that they wouldn't have to watch it again. So yeah, so that was like we watched the living shit out of that. There were a couple of other ones, but that was the only one that my parents were like, "Yeah, let's get rid of this." So yeah,
That's incredible. I love that you both had movie questions loaded up for each other.
Love it.
Oh, fantastic. Possible score updated is possibly Tampa Bay 7, Kansas City 3. It's possibly not. Okay, so we're going to keep going with the show. Oh, we had Loaf had a tape of Space Jam that they watched so many times the VCR tape broke.
oh wow,
That was my first CD that I ever owned, was the Space Jam soundtrack. Still holds up. Incredible soundtrack.
amazing. My first CD was Don McLean's Greatest Hits. When I was 14 years old, that was my CD that I owned.
I love
Nice. That was a long, long time ago. A long, long time ago. Anyway, that was my bad joke. All right, so I'm going to get you two to improvise. So you're going to do a scene in one location. The scene will start with the line, "Thank you for coming." And then after the scene, I'll come back. We'll talk a little more, and then we'll do a scene together. So we got some great locations in the chat. There's one that just jumped out to me since you're both dealing with cold. The place where they store all the salt to salt the roads during the winter. So that's going to be your location for the scene. It will start with "Thank you for coming." I'm going to pop you both into the green room real quick. All right. So somewhere out there are two people hanging out at the salt facility, and you're about to see them have a scene. Thank you.
Thank you for coming to the Salt Castle.
Yeah, it's getting really bad out there, and you know, Karen, we've obviously been working together for a long time, and you know, I've brought the appropriate, you know, boons to trade for salt so that we can salt the roads again, and I hope you find them acceptable.
Oh, lovely. Please show me your wares.
Yes, here are my boons 3. Obviously, the first and most important boon is the slain kid goat. Very important that it's a kid goat. I know we tried to bring you an adult goat last year, and you were like, "This goat's way too old." Kid goat this year.
No old goats.
Yep, just a young goat.
You can see that on the sign.
No old goats. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the second boon, of course, is the purest silver taken from a sunken wreck of a ship from beneath the ocean. So, yeah, we have that silver plate. So right here to trade silver plate, slain kid goat, 2 boons right out of the way. Tough time getting those. Okay. And do you want to see the third boon?
Of course I do.
Okay. The third boon is a child's laughter, and I've brought that as well. Did you hear it?
Play it again.
Okay, hold on. All right, did you hear it?
One more time. Child laughter doesn't always register in my ear.
Yeah. So we captured the laughter in a conch shell, and and so I just you know, I'm hoping that you can hear it through the shell from a distance. If not, I'll give you the shell so that you can put it up to your ear to hear it.
All right.
Yep, there you go. Do you hear it?
Oh, so fanciful.
Yep. That's a child delighted to find a quarter under their pillow after they left a tooth there for the tooth fairy.
Yes, I knew it was a fiscal laugh.
So yeah, so I'm ready to salt the roads, but before I just take this salt and go, Karen, I just wanted to let you know we all appreciate the work that you do here in the Salt Castle so much. Like every year, you know, I know that we've brought some subpar boons before and that you let us slide, and I just want you to know how much I appreciate that.
I know. Well, that silver from that jet ski wreck was borderline, but Stephen, you have a sweet face.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Karen. You know, no one has ever said that to me before. So it's much appreciated. It's something that I always
talked about that sweet, sweet face of yours.
people. I mean, I want people to ask me about how sweet my face is because I like to think that I have a sweet face, but it's something that I keep in my heart, and I've never heard anyone say out loud.
What kind of serums do you use? I feel like your pores are just glistening with sweetness.
Well, obviously I used some of the blood from that kid goat on my face last night, so I just kind of
Steven,
smeared
you
it.
figured out my secret.
What's your secret?
That's why I always ask for kid goats.
You
I use the blood for my T-zone.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
I should have figured that out. I assumed you just liked charred goat meat or something.
Nope.
But it's for skincare.
It's for skincare, exactly. My pores used to look like manhole covers. But now, look, no filter.
Wow, holy crumbs. That's incredible. Yeah, all right.
The air is so dry in here because of all the salt.
Okay, now, so are the other boons for skincare as well, or other health reasons?
Oh, the silver is just because I like silver. It just goes well with my skin tone.
Right, not a gold person.
Doesn't freeze.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of thing doesn't irritate. Then a child's laughter. That's for a spell.
That's for a spell! Okay, what kind of spell? I'm sorry, am I being too direct?
No, Stephen, we have worked together for so long, yet we've never had a heart-to-heart like this.
Not like this, no. And it's only because I have a little extra time today before I have to go out and salt the roads in my salt truck and plow.
Good. I don't want people rushing when they're doing important, dangerous work.
Do you think people understand that this is what everyone who operates a salt and plow truck has to do before they go out on the road to salt and plow the road?
No, I mean the other salt goblins and we talk about it. We have virtual meetings via Zoom.
Of course.
And we all talk about our plowsmen, and we just say, I feel like they don't talk to each other. You ever get that feeling when you're one organization talking to another organization, you're like, they're not talking.
Yep, silos.
Mm-hmm.
Siloization.
Different regions, different offices, it's a mess.
Absolutely.
We salt goblins stay very connected.
Yeah. So the spell, I have guesses, but I want you, could you just tell me?
Dehumidifying.
Whoa. That's the secret to how not humid it is in here. I thought it was all the salt, but you were using a child's laughter, and that probably keeps the salt dry and keeps it from clumping.
You got it.
My gosh.
If we don't use children's laughter, the salt clumps into, tens, dozens of pounds, and then we're little goblins. We can't lift that much.
Yeah. Gosh damn it. That makes so much sense. Okay. All right.
What were your guesses? I just want to know what your guesses were.
Oh, well, I know that there's a whole bunch of applications for a child's laughter. I know you can use it to make toothpaste. I know that you can use it to, obviously now I know that you can use it to dehumidify. I know you can use it to tenderize meat. I know that, a child's laughter also soothes the soul. So I don't know if you need your soul soothed or anything like that, but I don't know.
That's why I do yoga.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here
if you look behind the salt turret, I have my little yoga station with a nice yoga mat, a very small humidifier for my breathing. It's really a complicated, system of humidifying and dehumidifying here.
Wow. All right. Wow, I've learned a lot today. Well, the snow's really starting to come down, so I'm gonna hit the road unless you've got anything else. Could I get the list of 3 boons for next year?
Oh, yes, yes. Sorry, looking in my papers. Oh, funny. We need silver from a jet ski accident.
Ah, damn.
Oh, bravo. Oh, so fun and so silly. I don't know if you need your soul soothed. Just a lot of good, well, I can pull quotes from that one. There's I could tell it was a fiscal laugh.
Fiscal laugh.
The idea that a child's laughter is the third boon that you brought, just fantastic. There was
so funny.
Yeah, there was this was the scene is precious and disturbing somehow, and it really was. There was this beautiful sweetness between these two characters, but it's also like I'm really uncomfortable witnessing their interaction.
I don't know. I felt like it was a little like will they, won't they?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I could see that. There was definitely a tension between them.
Mm-hmm.
I love when scenes cross over in different worlds, because this one definitely at the beginning of it had a feeling like, oh, it's in a fantastical kind of fantasy world, and it was. But then there was also zoom. This is how truck drivers who salt the roads have to get their salt.
Yep.
Nobody knows about it. I love that.
It's an urban fantasy instead of high fantasy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was funny. Bringing up things that I thought about when I was 7 was those like pyramid things where they house salt. At least that's how it was outside Philadelphia. I always thought that that was where like secret societies were, or they were like castles, or like something was up in there.
I thought they were like weapon silos. I thought for sure there were like missiles or something in there when we would pass by them.
Yeah, and I think my parents repeatedly told me, no, that's where they keep salt for when it snows. And I was like, no, you are wrong.
Right.
There are gremlins in there.
They do look suspicious because they're just giant, weird piles of sand in the middle of an area. They're like, why is there a giant pile of sand there?
Mm-hmm.
There used to be a giant pile by the t-ball field where we played t-ball when I was a kid, and like kids would play in it, and my parents would get like so mad at us when they played in it because they were like, "That's the salt they put on the street. That's disgusting. Stay out of that."
Like, so what? We're playing in it. We're kids.
Yeah, we're children.
Yeah. What, the other dirt is better?
Right.
Like, all dirt.
We'll play in the clean dirt.
There was a dirt pile next to my house when I was a kid because they were building a house next to us, but they dug up the land, and it wasn't like, oh, you're gross. Our family was like, yeah, go play in that dirt. Just go play over there. And we're playing on a giant mound of dirt. Where now you'd be like, there was glass, there was rocks, there was so much stuff in that dirt that could have hurt us.
Yeah. Oh, we played in what my parents called the compost pile in the backyard. It was like a big patch of like Pachysandra, and I guess they like threw stuff back there. I don't know. That's where we played Legends of the Hidden Temple, and it was
nice.
Great. Yeah. Oh god. So that was a delightful scene to watch you both play, and knowing like you both have, knowing what I know of you, like Sean, I've known you since the beginning of your improv career. We were there together. We started together.
Mike, we've been friends for 21 years. Oh,
that's the number. There it is. It's crazy to think it's been that long because it doesn't feel like that.
No.
That's so lovely.
I'm sorry. Yep, Rachel, you're right. I have brought up that dirt pile before, and I will continue to bring it up because it was one of my most positive memories from growing up is playing in a giant dirt pile in my neighborhood.
Sounds great.
But yeah, I learned a lot of things about fantasy, specifically from you, Sean, because I know you have a lot of passion for it. And Whitney, you do as well. I know you play. I think when you logged on, when we checked in, you had was that your Knights of Prospect name, or what the name you had up? Yeah, Knights of Prospect is another kind of it's like We'll talk about it, Whitney. Tell us a little bit about Knights of Prospect.
Sure. Knights of Prospect is an improvised role-playing adventure. John Serpico is our game master, and it's just a game of Dungeon World that we've been playing for about 6 months now. That you can watch on Saturday nights or listen to it via podcast. Plug. But yeah, I play a druid on that. It's great.
Nice.
Yeah. But like, I loved that became an aspect of the scene when you both played together, because it happened so naturally and very organically. Like, Whitney, you chose a really interesting character, like right off the top, with the voice the affect of your voice. And Sean, you didn't affect your voice, but you just played right into it. Like, this is the world I'm in. And I love that juxtaposition.
I'm not really much of a character actor.
Bullshit.
So yeah,
I don't believe you.
Bullshit. You don't believe it. I'm like from the Tom Hanks school of character acting, which is just like, maybe I'll do an accent sometimes. Yeah.
I love that. That's like one of my favorite things in improv, because I'm always going to be a goblin if I get the chance. That's just how I do improv. But I also love it being a really grounded scene. So the fact that you're just like, okay, this person's a salt goblin, I'm going to name her Karen, and I have to deal with her on a regular basis.
Right. Yeah.
That's my favorite thing.
Yeah, and that's something, like, to me, like, in improv, you get permission to do the big crazy stuff by doing the grounded stuff first. Like, if you make people care about something emotionally and relate to it personally, then they're gonna let you do whatever the fuck you want. And so yeah, I'm always gonna try to do stuff like that when it comes to improv.
Love it. I love it. All right, so now I jealously watched that scene, so now I want to play with the both of you. So we're going to do a 3-person scene. We don't have to say thank you for coming at the start of the scene. So Twitch chat, we can if we want. It's not,
No, it's okay. I'm not going. No, I'm not going to.
All right. Well, maybe I will. I haven't decided. Hey, Twitch chat, we need another location. So we just did a scene in the salt pile. So we need another location. So go ahead and give us another location. So Whitney, you talked about Knights of Prospect. Sean, do you have anything going on in your world right now that you want to talk about? You don't have to. You don't have to like dig up a plug, but
no, I'm like partially retired. I think after Improvised Star Trek ended, in my head, I was thinking that I would start another podcast. But then the pandemic hit, and it just it hasn't happened. You can't meet with people right now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Where is Improvised Star Trek? If people wanted to start listening to it, because they can listen to the whole thing. It's already done. So
you can search it up. You can search for it on whatever your favorite pod catching device is, whether it's iTunes or Spotify or whatever. It should be available there. You could also go to theimprovisedstartrek.com, and we have a whole website, very nice website built out where you can check out old episodes. There's actually a curated list because there's hundreds of episodes. So there's like a curated list of like hits that you can enjoy if you don't feel like listening to 500 podcast episodes or whatever. There aren't 500 episodes. But yeah, so those are the places you can find it.
Yeah, definitely worth a listen. It's a really great show. It's well produced and very funny. So it's definitely check it out.
Sounds great.
Science Officer Quick Watson is my favorite character.
That's so nice. You don't have to say that.
Oh, wait, that was your character, right?
Yeah. There are many like much more impressive characters played by much more impressive improvisers on that show.
Stop it. Take a compliment.
So modest.
All right, great. So we're gonna have a scene. There's lots of locations that have been given to us. This is fun. A costume shop.
Oh, that's nice.
All right, so we're going to be in a costume shop. We're going to pop everyone into the green room real quick, and we'll be in a costume.
That cape is working all your angles.
It's a little heavy. It does look good.
Yes, keep it.
Spin more.
It's hard to spin in this room.
It's practically a closet.
There's just so many cloaks and fabrics around.
I can't
me. I can barely move
without a spin.
I can't swivel in this space.
Fine.
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it.
All right.
I think the fact that it's satin on the inside, so it's shiny. I like James. I just think if you're going to be a magician, you need a magician's cape, and I think this is what's going to complete your whole look.
It's true.
I agree. And it's got lots of little pockets. Lots of little pockets. I can hide a lot of things in here.
There's pockets in there?
No. No, Deborah. There's not pockets. I was kidding.
You're already tricking me.
That's right. I'm already. There's what's in here is magic. Oh.
Ah, a card, a playing card.
That's right. The three of clubs.
Ah, that was my card.
That's always my card. This is why I signed you, James. You and your trickery.
Well, we should probably check out the rest of the store to get the rest of your ensemble together.
No. This is all I'll need.
Just the cape?
Just the cape.
Oh, it's that kind of magic show.
No, I'm not going to be nude if that's what you're considering.
Oh, all right.
Sick people. Nay, I'm going to wear my own clothes. I want to be a street magician, but with a stage magician's flair.
Oh. This is a new avenue.
I see disappointment. I see disappointment and judgment in both of your faces. I can smell your judgment.
It's not disappointment. I'm just processing this information. You know, I'm just trying to keep an open mind, but it's two things that seem to contrast in my head.
What's behind your ear? This flyer? Look at that.
That's a flyer for your show.
Yes, it is. Look at the picture.
How the fuck did you do that? That's a picture of you wearing that cape.
And are you wearing sweatpants? Oh, well, now
yes.
It's on fire.
I was wearing sweatpants. I was wearing my comfy Sunday sweats.
You look so comfortable.
That's what I want. When you think of great magicians, who do you think of?
Harry Houdini.
Yes.
Bugs Bunny.
Yes. Copperfield.
Alf.
Raven. Alf. Great magicians.
Warren G. Harding.
Oh, the greatest magician of all.
He tricked America into letting him lead them.
All because he wanted to have a middle school named after him one day.
Yeah. The Teapot Dome scandal was the greatest sleight of hand in the history of the United States.
And that's who I want to be. But I can't be him if I'm not myself. And I myself am a casual magician.
You're selling me on these sweatpants.
And you've convinced me I will sell you this cape from my costume shop. I was not sold before, but I'm sold now.
Very good. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Dennis.
You're welcome.
This is why I bring all of my clients to you.
Yes, well, I am the greatest magician outfitter in the Triborough area.
Mm-hmm.
You outfitted the great Danielson, didn't you?
I did. Top hat, cape, billowy satin shirt, shiny silk pants, magician's underwear.
Meaning no underwear?
Either no underwear or disappearing underwear.
Either way, you end up with no underwear. Am I right?
That's why they call not wearing any underwear going magician.
Mm-hmm. They sure do. Now I need to talk to you boys about a magic trick of my own.
Oh,
I thought you were just a magician promoter, but you have magic tricks of your own.
Please talk to us.
I've become an aspiring magician.
I suppose it makes sense that you might catch the bug when you spend so much time in the magic world.
It's true. I think I caught it much like an influenza. But I can't sign myself. I can't be my own agent. It's a conflict of interest.
Are you asking if one of us or both of us would be your agent?
Yes. Yes, that's what I'm asking.
So, you, a magician adjacent yourself, would represent me, a magician.
Mhm.
A casual magician, by the way.
Casual magician, neither clothed or nude, just casual.
And me, alongside him,
Dennis.
a magician, Dennis, a magician's costumer.
Mm-hmm.
We become agents to you, an agent of magicians who is now a magician herself.
Yes.
I have something that I also wanted to ask the both of you.
Please, Dan.
Dennis, what?
I have also been thinking about becoming a magician.
Oh,
Dennis!
that's
What? It would be unethical to costume myself for my own magic act, so I need you both to design costumes for me.
It would
I
be
also
my
have-
greatest honor.
I also have something I've wanted to talk to you about in addition to costuming me.
What is it?
Well, I've been tinkering with my sewing machine and I've been speaking to clubs about booking magicians, but I felt weird about booking myself because I have an agent.
What?
Dennis, I will create your cloaks and your underwear should you choose to take my underwear from me.
Oh, and what is behind my own head? A top hat?
What?
It's for you, Dennis.
It's magic and it's a costume.
Yes.
And it fits just right.
It's perfect.
Despite the rabbit that was under the hat.
Oh, that's real. You're ready. You're really good.
Thank you.
Very good.
I've been practicing in this cape closet by myself, for myself.
A captive
I've
audience. of
noticed
one.
all the dead rabbits on the floor.
Yes, this is the one that survived.
What a
Suffocating
lucky.
under those hats.
I'm glad you finally figured it out.
Yeah. I'm glad we all figured it out.
I think we are the perfect triad of magician, agent, and costumers.
Next stop, Vegas.
Vegas.
Reno?
Oh, delightfully dumb. So an agent, a rabbit, and a costumer. Like what a triad of people we just created.
It's a whole little ecosystem.
It really is.
Small world.
Thank you, Renman. That was delightful. The scene was full of twists and turns. Whitney and Sean, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's so wonderful to A, see you both because you're both wonderful people, and B, to watch you both improvise and improvise with you because you're fantastic improvisers. And I really enjoyed sharing the stage with you tonight. So thank you so much.
Thank you
for having me. Sean, it was lovely meeting you.
Nice to meet you, Whitney.
Oh, fantastic. I'm out there in Twitch land. Yes, claps, claps, claps all around for our wonderful improvisers. Next week, it's Valentine's Day. Next Sunday is Valentine's Day. And we are still going to be here because you really can't go out because there's a pandemic going on. Be respectful. Don't destroy the world. But if you are out there, we're doing something a little different next week. We don't have any guests booked because we're going to do a little Valentine's Day Lovers Jam next week on Thank You for Coming. So if you're watching and you're like, hey, I want to play, you're going to go ahead and you're going to get the opportunity. So to become a part of the show, you are going to send an email to thatstoomuchbread@gmail.com. That's going to be thatstoomuchbread@gmail.com, and let them know you want to play in the Valentine's Day Jam for Thank You for Coming. You can also hit them up on Facebook, or you can hit me up if you know me. Or you can just show up that day, watch the show, and go, "Hey, I want to play," and I'll send you a link. So it'll be more of a less structured jam where you will get to play with people you've never met before. So definitely check it out next week. Thank you so much, Whitney and Sean. Again, a pleasure to have you both. Wonderful to see you. And to everyone out there, I just want to say one more time, thank you for coming.